Hi everyone, hope you well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Bitcoin once again. Thanks for your support. Okay, I'm on holiday at the moment in Cornwall, in beautiful Cornwall near Newquay. So I'll try and get an update out every day if I can at some point. But it might sound a bit echoey. It's because I'm in some kind of little conservatory at the moment in the house that we rent in, and it's a bit echoey. So I do apologise, but I'll try and do the best I can. Okay, I hope you're wherever you are. I hope you're safe, and I hope you're well. And yeah, we'll dive into Bitcoin then. So you can see right now it is picking up. It's doing relatively well, isn't it? It's bounced off this 55 EMA. There is a technical target which you're fully aware of for Bitcoin, but it's, you know what, it's showing strength, isn't it? You know, it's consolidating around here at 30k, and it's not losing that support. So this is actually really, really good for Bitcoin, to be honest with you. The longer things hang around on levels of support, the more momentum the build up to go forward. So, you know, we are anticipating that 200k for Bitcoin and the upside to all the alts as well, which you're fully aware of in the channel. But I've given you breakdown targets. If you want to see a breakdown for Bitcoin, I've given you all your sweep targets basically. Now there is one obviously that I've shown you on the monthly time frame. This is of keen interest to me, and this is the 20 EMA. Right now you can see we've not actually tested it as of yet. I did go through this with you in a previous video, that this acts as a really base level of support in a bull market. And this is, if you'd have caught the video from the other day, why I do still believe we are in a bull market, then this is conclusive proof of that, because you can see when we're above the 20 on the monthly time frame, we are in a bull market. And you can see that when we do lose our support, this is confirmation to the fact that we are in a bear market. So I know a lot of YouTubers at the moment are saying we're in a bear market, and a lot of technical analysis people are saying we're in a bear market, but there's a big question mark over exactly where we are in the market. Personally, you know, just from looking at the charts, I'll always tell you what I see. I believe that we are still in a bull market, and also we are in a two-part bull market where we've got overextended, okay, just like we did here in this previous bull market of 2013 and 14, where we got really overextended. We came back, we held the 20 really well, and obviously the 1272 Fibonacci extension there, which we talk about so many times in the channel, before continuation. So this is exactly what's happening right now, okay, until we lose this 20, okay, and fall deeper, you know, creating bearish crosses on the weekly, then we are still in a bull market. And I will always tell you what I say. I will never feed you any spiel. I won't lie to you or bullshit you. Okay, the charts tell me a story, and I'm trying to relay that to you. But it doesn't take a rocket scientist to look at this particular chart on the monthly time frame and figure out that, you know, some kind of relief rally has to come here, because in previous bull market tops and blow off tops, you always get a bounce. You always get a bit of upside, okay? And at the moment you can see we've just capitulated down here. We've not necessarily come to the 20 yet, but as time goes by and we consolidate in that range, this is where you will see the 20 creep up. I think the other day, yeah, so we've crept up something like $150 in a couple of days since I made the previous video. So that's what happens, you see, with these EMAs. The longer you remain above them, the more they start to creep up and provide a higher level of support, which when you fall down to and hold as support, continuously keeps you up in the uptrend. That's why I say to you, on any time frame, if you're above this yellow line, the 20 EMA, you are in an uptrend. And if you're holding it as support, beautiful for continuation. So yeah, that's Bitcoin covered. I mean, on the monthly there, that's why I do suspect that we are actually still in a bull market, okay, and we've got overextended. We're consolidating a range here, and I've given you targets. If you do start to see the breakdown, you know, do anticipate a bounce off at the 20 monthly EMA. And also, you know, we've got them swing high clusters that I've shown you about so many times in the channel. But just looking again at the weekly, I want to show you, looking at the RSI, let me bring up the drawings just there. You can see that this is what we're anticipating, okay? This particular trend line here, I will always remind you, this is what we're anticipating. A lovely little bounce off there. If you do have one more rollover, okay, do anticipate that, okay? Now, you know, look at the MACD starting to come back down to earth. Okay, we was up here really overextended, forming a bearish cross, and we've had that sort of sell-off. We've come back down. We have had capitulation. Look at the stock RSI. It's in the floor. Okay, this is sort of the longest period that it's actually been under this purple zone here, under the purple band, which is a medium level in the stock RSI. You know, once we get back above and we start to come back into that, okay, that's your uptrend basically right there. So right here, you know, hopefully if we can come down this low, if we come down this low as well, because Bitcoin's showing relatively good strength at the moment, okay. So if we was to come down here for one sort of more rollover, what a fantastic entry point, adhering to this trend line just there, coming back above this level of resistance, because when you're above this level of resistance, this is your continuation of the bull market right there. So this is something we're anticipating as a retest at least of resistance for Bitcoin, and we've not had that yet. So do anticipate that that will come, and when it comes, if it breaks it, fantastic, okay, because what we do need to see primarily is on the weekly time frame, and especially on the daily, is get back above the 20 EMA, And if we can get back above that and hold its support, we're looking fantastic for continuation, aren't we? So I'm just going to show you something really quick, okay, regarding the DXY, because I know that a lot of TA and YouTubers are targeting this DXY, which is an index of $1, okay? So basically, whenever the DXY is falling, okay, that's when Bitcoin rallies and goes into a bull run, like here, okay, in 2017, you know, that year there, the DXY was falling, the dollar was falling against everything else pretty much, but Bitcoin was rallying and setting new highs, and it was in its own little bull market, and then hence the DXY started to pick up, broke out levels of resistance, started to pick up, and in this section here, just here, this was the Bitcoin bear market, just here, okay? That's where Bitcoin shit the bed basically and set new lows before bouncing, obviously, and then you can remember last March when the whole world shit its pants. You know, Bitcoin started to rally, but the DXY fell, and right now it's fell to a key level of support down here, and it started to come up and it's created a level of resistance. But right here it's creating something called a WW bottom, okay, but it's ran into a level of resistance, which is the 55 EMA on the weekly time frame just there, okay? So potentially, you know, this is something we do need to keep an eye on, because if we do start to break this level of resistance right here, this could be a confirmation statement within itself that Bitcoin is entering a bear market, because, you know, just here, you know, you've got your bottom out here and you come up and you broke a key level of resistance, continuation to the upside, bear market for Bitcoin, okay? Then this broke down and Bitcoin picked up and had a bull market, crypto had a bull market. But right now, look, it's painting a beautiful W double bottom at the moment, but it doesn't mean it's necessarily going to break this level of resistance. It could actually fail here. So this is something we do need to keep an eye on, because it could roll here and continue to come down. So this is a very keen interest for people involved in crypto, because this spells a bear market. If this level of resistance just here is broken, this WW bottom is broken here, this is where you will see that bear market for Bitcoin, okay, and potentially see Bitcoin roll, because you can see, if you just look at this, okay, so on the weekly time frame, on the daily time frame, I do apologize, not the weekly, if we take a look at the daily, you can see that the DXY has been rallying, isn't it? But it's actually created something called a bearish divergence just here, okay, so you've got a high and lower highs in the RSI on the daily time frame, and then you've got a high and a high. You see that, and you're carrying out a divergence just there, a bearish divergence. Now this is correlated to the Bitcoin price, because as this was going up, Bitcoin was going down, and as you can see, this is rolled over. So this is rolled over for the past couple of days, and that's why you've seen this sort of bit of pickup for Bitcoin. So it's correlated. It's like a reverse basically of whatever Bitcoin's doing. Do you get that? And in the MACD as well, you've just started to form a bearish cross. Do you see this? So potentially this is where this could conflict with Bitcoin, and this signals the bottom for Bitcoin. If you do start to see this roll over the DXY, okay, and it starts to come down and loses this level of support just there, because it's in some kind of ascending triangle. Do you see this? Which obviously is a bullish pattern if you've come up into it, but if you come down into it, okay, it's a continuation pattern of the trend, and effectively it looks good. And we've seen all these W bottoms and everything before on Bitcoin, haven't we? You know, it's some kind of continuation pattern just there. You know, it's doing something like this, and if it breaks down, it will continue with the trend, and this is where you will see Bitcoin rally, okay, and continue with the bull market. So this is really important, because if it does break this level of resistance just here, okay, look, you've got your resistance just there. If it does come up and breaks this level of resistance, this is where you're going to see a trend reversal in DXY and a bear market for Bitcoin, okay. So I'm always going to keep you updated with what I see. So as you're fully aware for Bitcoin, then we fell out of this horizontal triangle which we were targeting, wasn't we? And we fell out on, this is the technical target down here at 29,608. But you can see we've started to come down. We found a level of support and we start to pick back up. Now this is good for Bitcoin, okay, because this is sort of reflecting what's happening in the DXY, obviously. And if we can have a nice little pick up here and break a level of resistance, this could be a fantastic reversal in the market. But obviously you're fully aware you're in a technical target of 29,608 at the moment. So unless you can come up and invalidate that particular target by breaking up against this level of resistance, this is still in play. So do anticipate that, okay? You know, Bitcoin's having some kind of relief rally here before it actually gets to its target down here of 29,608. So that's basically it. You know, come to your charts, and if you start to see this particular level of resistance broken, because you can see you're being forced into something at the moment, you're in a bullish cross on the hourly time frame, okay? It's looking relatively healthy. If you can continue to hold this as support, this 20 is going to creep you up. Do you see this? Because you're forming some kind of ascending triangle just there. Come up into it, continuation pattern. If you break this level of resistance right here for Bitcoin, you could see a beautiful little pump here for Bitcoin, okay? So this particular target, if we drop it in, you know, it's because it's descending, it's changing all the time. But do come to your charts, draw this trend line, because you can see this particular red line has been a key level of resistance for Bitcoin for quite a while now. Okay, so since the 29th of June, when we had that sort of top and roll back into the reversal just there, you've come up and hit your head on this multiple times. So this is a really key area for Bitcoin. If we break it, this is really positive for Bitcoin, because you can see it's some kind of descending level of resistance for Bitcoin. If we break it, we're looking at continuation. But as I've made you fully aware in previous videos, you do have levels of resistance. Can you hear the seagulls? You do have levels of resistance up above. Okay, so you've got the golden ratio, which is the retracement of the impulsive wave down on a larger time frame. You know, this is a key area and level of resistance that you equally need to see Bitcoin break out of. Okay, so it's not completely out of the woods yet. It's looking good, but you are under a level of resistance just there of this trend line. So do come to your charts and draw this, because like I said to you, you know, if you continue to do something like this, this is where eventually you can get to the technical target. And from here right now, if you would continue to roll over, you are looking at a 12% downside for Bitcoin. And with that, potentially you could come a little bit lower and come down to that monthly 20 EMA. So that's basically it. You know, I wish I could tell you which direction it's going in positively, but at the moment you're in a lot of chop, you're in consolidation, it's going sideways, boring flat, I know, but you know what, it's building up momentum. You're creating bottoming out structures on stock RSI and MACD, the RSI within itself. Some on-chain analytics, which I won't go into at the minute, are looking really good as well. And off-chain analytics for Bitcoin, it's looking relatively healthy, that you found a foundation here for continuation in the bull market. Okay, so stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned, and thanks again for your support, and I'll try and get more updates out to you. Take care everyone, bye bye.